Welcome back to another Game Time Discussions. My name is Emery Cuzzy. I'm sitting here with Cameron Selby, and we're going to do another draft. DraftKings Basketball Mania, $3 contest, $1 million worth of prizes, and we are in the fourth position this time. We've actually seen this position just like we saw the sixth and the 12th position multiple times. We're hoping to spread it out a little bit more so y'all can watch some videos from every position, of course.
Well, draft season doesn't stop. It's only June. But the good news is that this is going to be our best draft yet.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very exciting. Unfortunately, again, we've been trying to do the robust strategy of running backs, whereas we just, for the first 5 picks, just hammer it out and just see what we can do. Nothing we recommend, doing consistently. But we obviously cannot do that from this position. So we're going to be going best available receiver and then just probably go in with a hero or zero. Once again, but again, it's going to be the best one yet.
Yeah, and also, of course, there's nothing wrong with hero or zero just because we say that we want to do some of those other things. We just want to give
variety to you guys because, for those new to best ball, you need to understand and see the different strategies and why they make sense because, again, it doesn't matter what strategy you go, you just have to tell a story, paint a picture. You can't just eeny, meeny, miny, mo every single pick and just cross your fingers, hope it works out. When you're in week 17, you can't just have guys on 15 different teams hoping that all of them pan out. Right. Whereas, if your wide receiver 1 goes off week 17, well, guess what? Their quarterback's probably going off too. And that's why it makes all the sense in the world to go that route.
Yeah. The fourth pick is really difficult, actually, because of the second round.
Yes.
You are almost forced to go, one of those weird tier 2, 3 receivers.
Mm-hmm.
And not necessarily comfortable picking those guys right now.
I might have an idea lower, depending on what pans out.
Yeah.
I'll get to that once that kind of gets closer. But it'll be something that is very recommended, but we have yet to do on either of our sides so far in this draft season.
Hopefully, most likely we're going to go Tyreek Hill or Jamar Chase. I'm higher on them than I am Amon-Ra or Justin Jefferson, but they're all in the same range, obviously. Mm-hmm. They just kind of sit here. Tyreek Hill's gone, so I'm going to Jamar Chase it this time around, and then we're going to go over here to the draft board and watch it unfold. Lots of picks in between us, but luckily at the fourth position, you get to be between, a few people, so you get to see what they're going to do, kind of expect, if there's their team without a tight end, there's a tight end coming up, you'd expect them to probably take them.
Yeah, in our 6.0, or so we think it is, the draft we just did, there was a pick 3 that just got the best of both worlds because they're the pick 101 through their draft, and then pick 2 didn't really correlate at all. So he had the perfect start to his draft, and it was just we could not stop raving about how well he started with his team. Looks like Bijan went 5th, so that's a little.
Jahmyr Gibbs 8th.
It's one of the first times that I've seen going, and then we saw Breece Hall dealing with some kind of minor ailment. So he's kind of fallen the last couple of drafts we've done behind Jahmyr Gibbs. Bijan, Breece, and Jahmyr are all 2, 3, 4. Put them in whatever order you want. We're going to have a lot of shares of all of them.
There goes Breece right there.
Yeah, so it looks like
with the injury to Breece Hall, it's actually pushing running backs up.
Mm-hmm. That's true too.
Because he's still getting taken. Just people are jumping over him at 8 and taking running back. Some of these people, really comfortable with going like hero RB, not comfortable going 0 RB like we are. So they want to get a guy, and they're just like, well, Breece is injured, so go Jahmyr. And they just run that way. So we will see. I think this is Garrett Wilson, right?
Has to be.
At least one of them.
If it's not, I'd be shocked. I have not seen him fall out of round 1, I don't think.
Well,
but I've done a lot of drafts.
Didn't make it.
Drake London. Okay.
Jeez, he falls out of round 1, all right. There goes. All right.
Well, you're experiencing it first.
Puka Nacua fell, and Garrett Wilson fell.
That was
so that's a great 11.
Has got a fantastic start.
Mm-hmm. Marvin Harrison. I wonder. So we're actually at the 21 first position. That's where Devon Achan, I believe, is the 21st ADP wise. I have 0 shares of him. So
I view him much better in best ball than I do in a redraft league
right.
because you're looking for the 30-point weeks. But it's still too early in this range. We probably have him. We're still working on our overall ADP, but probably somewhere in the late 3-4 turn.
Yeah, I was going to
And
say
he's
mid
going at the
third.
2-3 turn.
Yeah.
Every time. So
I completely agree. We're getting Devontae Adams, a
all
guy
right.
that we were looking at.
So
Uh-oh.
if you go back to the draft board,
Draft board
um,
on the board.
of course it'll have to. I might have to wait to start my soliloquy till we're on the clock because I don't want to jinx anything.
Yeah, we do
Because
that
I
a
seem
lot
to
here.
just jinx it about 2 minutes ago.
Do that a
Garrett Wilson's
lot
never
here.
going to fall in the first round. Oh, there it is.
Accidents happen right there.
I guess so.
Nico
All right,
Collins.
so that kind of takes away. I had the idea because the last draft we did the 303 or 103 did the double stack with Nico, Stefan, and CJ.
Yeah.
Since we're not, we're gonna have to get uncomfortable at wide receiver.
I'm
Shoot,
more comfortable in Mike Evans.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. I mean, he in the Bucks, one of the better schedules to end the season.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
like that. And
yeah, we're
I
gonna
mean, it's not comfortable,
make it
but
work.
he's our wide receiver too, and we might think about wide receiver 3 as well.
Yeah,
Unless you think that maybe we can potentially get a
end.
Kansas City stack.
Ooh.
I've done a lot of that on Underdog thus far, but DraftKings is kind of hard because Patrick Mahomes is kind of all over the place between the 3rd round to the 5th round. Whereas, you can consistently get Kelsey at the 2-3 turn. But Mahomes, it's kind of hard because, we're crossing our fingers. And if it doesn't work out, sure, we'll be fine. We'll go other directions. But that's the whole point or premise of what we would be trying to do with that move.
I always wonder too if we repeat exactly how we did something in other drafts, because we have stands on players, and if we like Jamar Chase over Tyreek Hill, say we always get him, but then all of a sudden at that second round we always get Mike Evans. Are we doing that every time? I wonder. I have to go back and look, but kind of.
Well, here's the deal. If it falls the way I'm thinking, we might be getting the same thing we've been doing a lot in our 3rd round as well.
Did not fall that way, just so you know.
All right. Let's see. Well, yeah, there it goes. I'm about a 3-second delay on the TV as I'm going because we can't be in the same draft room at the same time without both being 2 different users in the draft. And we tried that and it sucked. And this is a better way
so much better about these videos. So much better. Deebo Samuel is the first guy on the board.
Joe Laporta again. If you wanted a first running back, Kyron, like him here.
I like Laporta.
Yeah,
I do. Get hero-ish RB. I think he's probably going to be our tight end 1 at the end of the day. My personal.
He's really, really close.
Yeah, I think we're tier 1 is Kelsey's first and then Laporta, but it's so close up there that they're probably going to be ranked
It's an even
together.
split right now between the 5 platforms that we follow. Obviously, with us being the deciding factor in that, since there's an odd number. But
robust strategy
with Sam Laporta. So now we'll go 0 RB, maybe.
That was a robust strategy, I thought, right there. The brick house at pick 5 could have gone with Kyron Williams. And then they would have
if we were doing a robust, that would have been my ideal start, in my opinion. I know you didn't love Devon HN, but being a part of that.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
We actually have Kyron above HN. But again, play the field and see how people are falling. Just because you feel some certain way, don't have to reach a whole round. If you know that Kyron's trending to the middle of round 3, you don't have to spend that mid-second round pick on him.
I think the perfect draft for that style would be 9, getting Gibbs or Hall, JT, Kyron, and then Travis Etienne.
Yeah.
That would be...
Kyron's trending towards that, but he's kind of been more in the middle, so you're hoping for...
Yeah, that would be the biggest...
Fall.
Yeah, you
but
need
again,
that to fall.
If he didn't, then Jacobs in the 4th is perfectly fine in that strategy as well. And then think Kamara is the RB1 that is going in the late 5th, early 6th round as well.
DK, run on receivers right there. Ours obviously feels very. There's a ton of receivers going. I mean, there's 4 teams that have all receivers right now.
That is pretty crazy.
I think that means we might have to pivot. Oh, well, there goes a running back to that team. But I mean, pivoting to grabbing a mid-round running back would be a way to make sure you're not in that slew of 7th-round running backs, because you have to play the field, right? If you know what the field is doing strategy-wise, that's when you have to kind of change it up, because you don't want to be like with the Sharks at the end of it. You want to be able to, go somewhere else if you have to catch the guys that fall. If everybody's picking running back, there will be other positions that are falling.
Right. So, I mean, there's a certain player that I'm thinking about, and I'm not going to say his name, but his name rhymes with Mosh Makeups, and we're hoping that he falls. That would be a good way to start a hero RB build, and we'll just see. We still have another team that has 3 wide receivers to start, and shoot, the other team that went 2 RBs early, maybe they just continue going that route as well.
Yeah, I'm wondering about this next team. Right, yeah, okay. That one didn't help. Let's see. Let's go check it out.
Damn it, Mosh Makeups. All right, so quarterback's an option, or we could get a third receiver. Pretty much all the running backs that I'm interested in have gone.
Yeah, I agree.
So would you rather knock out our quarterback, or would you rather go our third receiver here?
Let's go receiver.
Okay.
Amari.
Again, we haven't. So we do have Chase, so we could aim for a double for
With T.
Cincinnati
Higgins?
if you
You wanna do
like. I
T.
don't
Higgins?
have any shares of T. Higgins.
I'm fine with that.
Don't
I like
mind
that
it.
idea a lot.
But
Yeah.
that would be a fun way to do a double and feel better about it.
Where is Joe going? What round is he going in? He's 74, so 6.
6-7 turn.
Okay, so we'll just have to pay attention
Mm-hmm.
to where that is. That's right here for us.
So far, nobody in between us has taken a quarterback yet.
Mm-hmm.
Team 3 went with a 4th receiver. They did a double of Miami as well.
Yeah, they're going Miami.
Which, Miami was on our video. A lot of players doing the, our least favorite or scheduled losers.
Yeah.
Based on the schedule they had towards the end of the year. A lot of cold weather games. But again, early in the season, that will probably pay off more often than not.
Something I want to watch while we go through this is there's not a single stack to any of the quarterbacks that have been picked.
It's interesting.
Yeah. So we're up. But kind of keep an eye on that. We could go here, James Cook. We already have our tight end, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
So James Cook, or Keenan Allen. I'd probably say James
Cook or Keenan. We have a lot of Keenan, though. I don't have much of James Cook. Like him, he's our RB10, I believe.
It's just he's in a weird spot to get him at times.
Yeah, normally he's in a weird spot. And then also, I've loved targeting Kincaid in the 5th round.
Mm-hmm.
Or if I get Josh Allen, obviously I'm not primarily looking to stack him with James Cook. So
lots of week 12 buys. So we'll just have to pay attention after we get Burrow.
Right.
Jaden Reed. There goes Kamara. He's going earlier now. He is in every draft we've done.
I had a feeling he would trend up there because there was no reason he needed to be going in the 6th round. He's a lot of people's RB17, RB18, RB16. We're at right around RB12. Small difference, but again, that's basically a full round if you put the overall ADP into play. Again, we're going to be putting together our top 150 that we'll release in a later video, but that even a couple spots make massive differences.
Right, absolutely.
Especially in these drafts. 3 straight tight ends.
Yep.
Which we love all 3 of them.
Trey McBride went a lot later than his current ADP. He's the highest 4 straight tight ends. Kyle Pitts going at the end of that. But Trey McBride's ADP is the highest by far. He's 6 spots ahead of Kincaid, and then Kincaid's a few spots ahead of Andrews. We finally got a stack. That's good.
Yeah, I guess.
Anthony
Low
Richardson, Michael Pittman Jr.
volume passing offense. But
There goes Keenan. We're probably at that point. Oh man, he's got 5 receivers and then JT.
okay. And I've actually seen we watched a strategy video and they were going about, it is good to target wide receivers early, but some of the mistakes that they make is when they go 5 receivers in their first 7 picks, they still draft 8 receivers.
Yeah, you don't
And
have
so
to.
when you get 5 wide receiver ones, you don't need 8 receivers at that point. You need to load up on other positions. So um, he's going to have to probably go a 3 quarterback slash end or 3 tight end build.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not he goes that route will remain to be seen. But we saw another team in a previous draft that literally drafted 1 tight end until like round 19.
Right. Yeah.
And so it's just like whoever that they got, is probably not going to help them if Kincaid, I think, was the tight end
He was
goes
the
down.
tight end.
So
we're of course the 69th pick. We're probably gonna have to get Burrow here because I don't think it's wise to wait 8 more picks.
based on there's a lot of receivers that I'd be fine with as a wide receiver 4 here, and because we went the route of double Cincinnati stack,
Yeah,
I think it's more than fine to get Burrow here. He's the next best available quarterback in terms of ADP. Just snag him here. That's fine. And then whoever can fall to us as wide receiver 4 here, or if we wanted to wait around because we like Jackson Smith-Njigba as a wide receiver 4 as well.
yeah. I know that 75 is Zamir White, and then DeAndre Hopkins is the wide receiver that I think I like the most in that little range there.
Yeah,
So let's go back.
Let's see.
Okay, so we got our double stack. That's always good.
Whoop.
Actually making the things you say happen are always good, guys. We have a hero tight end. We have a top 12 quarterback. I mean, there goes Zamir White. That's why I don't say things.
Man, it keeps happening.
Yeah. Because I know exactly who's going next. No, actually, I think that team that just took Zamir White's probably going to take the guy I said earlier. Because that's just how that goes. He's listening. Y'all, whoever's watching, he knows what we're talking about over here.
Oh, JSN went the pick before Burrow. Okay.
That's
so one less guy, but again, there was a lot of guys that we'd be fine with as a wide receiver 4 here.
Yeah, that also pushes other guys up the draft board. So Calvin Ridley. Okay, same team, different player, same team. Can't really target week 12s because we just have tons of buys at week 12. It'll be you, won't it? Okay, it wasn't you.
He went with Rome.
Yep. So I think DeAndre Hopkins is the guy that I would go with. I'm not on Addison right now. He's too high.
Just too much of an unknown. If you had the mindset of going with a Lawrence stack, but again, week 12 buy, so we couldn't go that route anyways, even if we wanted to. Yeah, DeAndre makes the most sense here, and then we'll probably have to spend, another running back and running back and quarterback are probably going to be our targets over the next 3 or 4 rounds.
Yeah, but there's some running backs that we like in the early 100s. Jonathan Brooks is 98, and then Najee's 93. So those are the kind of guys we're going to be targeting with our next
Brian Robinson, we've gotten so often on these videos because he just is much lower than Austin Eckler.
Javonte Williams.
I get the idea or premise of it, but I mean,
it's PPR, I guess, right? But still, that guy wasn't happy. I took his pick. Actually, he's gonna go get quarterback 2, I guess, for him. Kyler. What did they do? Did they put anybody with Kyler? No, Kyler is unstacked. So
I have not seen
Patrick Mahomes is stacked now.
This many unstacked quarterbacks.
I know, it's weird. So
at least early on, I mean, even though we did get like Mahomes ended up stacking with who they get?
Xavier Worthy.
Like, it's much more preferable to have Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes than it is insert whatever receiver here and Patrick Mahomes.
And then Jalen Hurts, I guess people are for some reason thinking he's not stackable or you can unstack him, but that's not
No,
true
you
in
have
best
to.
ball, guys. So
The only
don't think that.
the only true quarterback that I would be okay unstacking is
Anthony
Anthony Richardson,
Richardson.
because you have to invest a third round pick in Michael Pittman Jr., who has never had more than 5 touchdowns in a season. And so you just don't know if he can break that threshold, especially with a running quarterback and a heavy dose running back.
So I think Team 12 has basically kind of hurt himself. He's not going to get an elite quarterback or an elite tight end. He went 5 receivers in a row, or no, 5 receivers, three running backs. It's going to be tough for him to kind of get the production at the quarterback and tight end position, and there's only one of those. So
I have an idea with this next pick based on Najee going. Looks like Caleb Williams is starting to go at the earlier part of round 9, which is probably correct. Or round 8, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize.
And then Jalen Warren goes.
It's fine. I mean, again, Najee, we're taking a stand that he's going to finish higher. But if you believe in Jalen Warren and Najee is overrated, which he is, let's be
he's
honest.
absolutely overrated.
But again, James Conner is too. But he probably won you a lot of money if you've drafted him over the last 4 or 5 years.
Ability versus situation is always important, guys. So we're coming up. The guys around us. So the next 2 don't have a tight end. Zach Moss off the board. Brian Thomas off the board. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and look. Tight end, I'm guessing he'll go Jake Ferguson with that pick. He did not. He went Jordan Love. The running backs, I guess. Damn, dude.
If you wanted to wait on a running back, I love Dak Prescott here as a QB2.
Yeah, I do too. You can get his stacks
and
later.
then you can get stacks later. But if you didn't want to go that route, probably Brooks is my preference.
No, I think we can do that. Let's do that. And then we'll just hammer running back.
Because again, right now, Brandon Cooks is in the wide receiver 5 range, like in our wide receiver 60. We have him a little bit higher than that. And then Jalen Tolbert getting a lot of buzz. He is 208 right now. And we actually saw him go in the 14th round last. But that was by a team that was sabotaging the draft and just overdrafting guys. So we don't know what his true range is, but he is rising. But multiple people to
I think
double against.
Round 17 guy more than like that's where I think he probably settles into is like round 17. Couple more running backs.
And Zeke, another idea too, because we do need some running backs. I know he's not going to get an 80 catch, but it's just another piece of the puzzle for Dallas that should be flirting with 30 points a game this year.
Yeah. I think Rico Dowdle, when you have Dak,
another idea
might be a guy that you go with over Zeke just because now you get the receiving option. We're up next. Let's go check the board. I know who I want.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I would want them both.
No, he went, so it doesn't matter.
Oh, we weren't talking. Who are you talking about?
I was talking about Javonte Williams or.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, Brooks is still
Brooks.
there.
No, I know. It's one of the two. Who was the other guy you were saying?
I was saying Brooks.
Yeah. Okay. So Javonte or Brooks there was kind of where I was leaning. If Brooks goes,
well, yeah. I mean, Javonte is higher up in our rankings, but it is a little bit higher risk because you don't know.
This is also best ball, right?
It is also best ball. And then also, again, it sounds ugly investing in Carolina players, but we're doing that a lot because they have such an easy schedule.
And low ADPs.
A lot of opportunity. Everybody's at reasonable ADPs, and that's how you win tournaments.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, we just got Brooks at where we were pick 101. So it was past his ADP. I mean, I'm not mad about it. He's actually risen a little bit, which is okay. I mean, that's not a problem. So I think there's going to be a time where we're not going to be able to draft him. He might run into the 80s, and then all of a sudden he's undraftable in my book.
Right. I mean, it's a slow burn for him, but I mean, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He doesn't have to play a 2023 playoff team until week 12 this year. And he will be a slow burn because of he probably won't get 20 touches out the gate. But again, it's matchups, it's schedule. There's a reason that Chuba Hubbard, when he finally got the starting role last year, was a fringe RB1 in terms of overall production for the last 5 weeks of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And that was being on the worst team in the NFL. And they won't be the worst team in the NFL. They'll probably be one of the 5, 6 worst. But that doesn't matter. You see running backs produce all the time just in spite of that.
Yep. We're seeing a few quarterbacks go. I'm not that high on Shakur. I like Curtis Samuel more, and I like getting to Chase Claypool if I have to. Like, I'd rather those two. This guy on the far right over here is not picked a quarterback or a tight end. There's the tight end. Jeez Louise. So he's kind of riding his own ship.
I mean, yeah, I have no idea what he's going to do with quarterback because guys like Goff and Stafford shouldn't be there on their way back around.
Let's see, did Caleb Williams get stacked? He did. DJ Moore. Okay. So Anthony Richardson was stacked. Caleb Williams was stacked. Jaden Daniels was not stacked yet. Jalen Hurts was not stacked at all. Kyler Murray was stacked with Trey McBride.
But we should be at the very moment the only double, which is pretty cool to think about as well.
I know. There goes Brandon Cooks.
I mean, obviously there's opportunities for people to do that later on, but
right. But I like our double, I guess, more than I would like a fourth option on our team, plus the maybe second or first option.
Looks like we're gonna not get the person that we want.
Probably not.
You know, there's no chance that he falls because it just doesn't happen that way when we talk about it.
There goes 2 picks. We're one more.
Well, either way, we're going to get one of the two that I'll be comfortable with.
Exactly. Let's go see bye weeks wise. Just 12 and 11.
And
can't pick a 12. So
that's fine. Neither one is.
I'd rather have that guy. Who'd they pick?
There you go.
Jerome Ford.
I mean, I really don't know what to do with Nick Chubb. And if you
agree.
are not a believer in that, then that should correlate with Jerome Ford being higher in your rankings because he was a top 20 RB last year after that production. So
he has one of the the highest percentages of negative yard plays in the NFL. Couple running backs for us.
Might be able to go with the third straight one.
That's the plan. Getting a 50-50 guy. Not a handcuff, a 50-50 guy. And so there's some handcuffs that you look at here. You get the Trey Benson. He's a handcuff. I guess he
will be early on, but I think it'll be more split at the very least later.
Oh, yeah. I think he's the better. He'll be the guy that plays more actually later on. I just don't know if the injuries bug isn't going to catch up to the other guy. Oh, damn.
Well, now it's crossing fingers for the other guy. If not, we might be going with our fifth receiver here.
Oh, we're good.
We're good? Okay, sweet.
That guy? Chase Brown?
So that would be a triple, or did you want to get
we can go Zeke here.
That was who came to mind. Me.
I see.
Chase Brown we have a little bit higher in our rankings, but they're right close to one another. Either way, Zeke. It correlates. What would you prefer?
Let's go Zeke.
Okay.
I'd rather have that side of the coin.
Yeah, we have Chase Brown at 32 and Zeke at 34. Obviously higher for both in terms of consensus ranking, but just opportunities there, and they're on really good offenses. Zeke's not the best correlation with Dak, but it's a piece of the Cowboy offense that Dak throws for 80 yards down the field and then gets down to the one and they just turn it around. Zeke can get 10 touchdowns this year and wouldn't be shocking. That doesn't mean that he has to be efficient.
No, he probably won't be efficient, honestly. But 10 touchdowns is, lots of fantasy points.
And again, he the last 3 weeks of the fantasy season was averaging 11 targets a game when Ramonche went down. And you don't expect that because that's not the skill set of what he did. But he was averaging like 3 yards per carry. A lot of that was because New England had a low average offensive line, but he still was producing.
Yeah,
Like,
being back in
let me
Dallas
pull
is
that
one
up.
of the best things for him. So we're gonna have to get let's see, some non-week 12 receivers coming up, and then we're gonna have to keep going at the running back position, possibly getting a second tight end. I'm good. We don't need any more quarterbacks, guys. We're good at quarterback. If Burrow or Prescott don't work out, we probably didn't win anyways. So we're gonna stick with the quarterbacks we got.
Yeah. So the final 4 weeks of the fantasy season, Zeke was RB7, had 27 targets in 4 games, 22 receptions. He averaged 2.7 yards a carry, and was still RB7.
Wow.
So again, it's just volume, guys. It's not, you don't have to be efficient. Some people can be. Look at Jahmyr Gibbs was right above him, 5.6 yards a carry, only 10 catches, but he had 6 touchdowns in that 4-game stretch.
Mm-hmm.
But with Zeke, he had 2 receiving touchdowns, but no rushing touchdowns, 2.7 yards a carry, but he just got the targets. I think he he was second behind Brees Hall, who also went. He's the only like that last 4-week stretch had 100 yards every game. That last game he had like 40 touches, just insane stretch. So Jalen Warren was the 3rd most targeted receiver in the final 4 weeks.
Running back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We could also do the stack on the other side of it.
And then let's see.
We still need running backs. That hasn't gone away. So many week 12 buys.
I mean, there's a couple options that I say that I like.
We're gonna be up in 3 picks.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton of him, but if you don't have faith in Zeke and you're just like Rico Dowdle might be that guy, getting both of them, that's
gone.
fine.
Him and Kendre are gone.
Mm.
It means we need a pivot. Marshawn Lloyd. If we wanted to go running back again, we could lock down all of our receivers basically here.
I think we should go receiver here.
I like Jahan Dotson, 1st round pick.
It'll be a second Washington player.
Yeah.
Fine with that.
We're gonna run out of time. So.
Yeah, let's go with Jahan.
Yeah.
Can't get Xavier Leggett at every single draft.
We're trying. We're getting as much as we can, right? Because his ADP should, be a little bit higher. And rookies get opportunities, and he's got 3 rookies in his offense.
I don't get why, Adonai Mitchell is going a full round or even 2 before.
I think it's 2 rounds.
Xavier Leggett. I mean, obviously people are like, "Ooh, Anthony Richardson's better than Bryce Young." Sure it is, but that doesn't mean that he's going to throw for 4,000 yards.
Opportunity cost, guys.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Donnie Mitchell in his college career never had more than 800 receiving yards. He just was a good red zone threat that we hope that can turn it. Same with Loud McConkey. He's never had the productive season, like full season, where you can just be like, "Oh yeah, wide receiver 3."
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Let's go see. Tight ends are going early. Just saying. So we'll have to. We could still get Xavier Leggett. We need running back, truly.
Yeah, I think Marshawn Lloyd is probably our preference.
Yeah. There's not really any other running backs after that, so I think that's probably.
Yeah, we've been getting a ton of Marshawn Lloyd and Kendre Miller at this range. Both guys that could just be late season gems or fall right into a ton of opportunities if either Josh Jacobs or Alvin Kamara went down.
Which both have had injuries, guys.
Both have had injuries. Alvin Kamara is getting up there in age now. I think it's his age 29 season.
Mm-hmm.
So
we're also looking at a situation where tight end is becoming a commodity in this draft. Luckily, we have Sam Laporta, so less of an issue, but finding...
We'll probably have to get 2 late round tight ends.
Mm-hmm. Let's see, Xavier Leggett's still on the board. We're pretty far away, though. Don't think we're going to get him this time. Not out of the realm of possibilities, though.
You know what is interesting, though, is that on Underdog, Taysom Hill is going as a quarterback, and on DraftKings, he's going as a tight end. It's really interesting, especially because the ADP is right around the same. Maybe Underdog's a little bit further back because of the quarterback position, but it's strange that they're just two different realms. Same thing with ESPN leagues right now have him as a tight end, and then Yahoo leagues have him as a quarterback.
I'd stay so far away from him if his position was quarterback.
Yeah, it doesn't. It's no longer a thing where he could be the guy to be QB2. I think if Derek Carr either gets hurt or goes down, I think they're gonna just give Spencer Rattler a chance.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's
Unless
not even
he.
that. It's not even just that to me. It's like then he loses his flexibility. He loses the flex position. If you have two tight ends that play well, and he happens to go for 15 points, and he doesn't make your lineup, you're going to be pretty annoyed because he's a quarterback, and quarterbacks are going to go over 15 points often.
Right.
So
yeah, he's undraftable as a quarterback, but it's just interesting when there's multiple sites doing different things with him.
Right. 3 quarterbacks in a row. We don't need quarterback. We're done. So lots of receivers. I mean, what does that mean for us? Let's go look. Kate Otten, guy that I like. Tyler Algier.
If we wanted to triple
Damani
stack
Vidal.
with Jermaine Burton,
That would be
we could
crazy.
just get everybody. Everybody Cincinnati.
We're going to hope that Joe Burrow is the MVP.
Man, if that happens, this team is to the moon.
Let's see. He went Isaiah Likely.
Okay. So what route would you like to go? Obviously we still need a tight end too. Kate Otten's like the last, or not
Tight
the
end
last guy,
two.
but he's the best of the. If you're going a 3 tight end build, as a tight end too, completely fine with him.
Yeah, I think he's my favorite, but I'm also okay with going running back.
I think the drop off from
Kate Otten
is much bigger than.
Well, and Isaiah
Vidal
Likely's already gone. And
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree.
And we're done there.
No more tight ends.
Yeah, no, we're good. Almost had a oh no moment, but
why?
Well, because I was like, Tampa Bay's a week 5 bye, but no, they're not. They're week 11.
No, I checked that.
Because we did that in another draft where we almost missed.
2 years ago, we were in a draft together, and I picked 3 tight ends with the same bye. And you were like, not that one. I remember because we were drafting, and I was like, why? And you were like, they all have the weeks 8 buys, 7 buys. They don't have week 8 is not a thing.
Apparently not anymore.
But yeah, so I remember that. I was like, what the heck? Oh, shoot. I know who I want. Don't you do it. Don't do it. He didn't do it. I was thinking Tyler Algier.
Okay.
And he's the top guy. I think that the drop off at the receiver spot is there, and we already have high end receivers. We have the double stack. If our double stack doesn't work out, our team isn't going to work out. So that's our plan, right? DeAndre Hopkins is a solid wide receiver. Jahan Dotson, solid number 2. Hopefully. Another week 12 bye.
Yeah. But I mean,
but at this point,
he's the last guy they got in terms of, who's behind Bijan. Hopefully it's not just a 50-50 split anymore for the sake of Bijan maximizing his potential, because I will have a lot of him. Haven't drafted him on these drafts yet just because of the range. We've been getting 12 or 1 or 4 or 6, but we have not gotten 7 or 8.
I feel like all we're doing is...
That's only where he's going.
Mm-hmm. I feel like all we've been doing on these drafts is 0 RB or hero RB. That's it. Yeah. And so...
Which that's what probably 80-90% of our drafts are going to be like.
They might even be that at those 8-9s, 7, 8, 9s, but it's like we don't even have an opportunity to try anything else. It's like 4. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, wide receivers. 6. Okay, wide receivers.
Yeah.
So tight ends, lots of tight ends. 3 running backs in a row. Malachi Corley. The rookie receivers go off the board here a lot. Rookie tight end or running backs go off the board sporadically through here. There's just not that many. that were in good situations. We put out a whole video of that. So if y'all want to go back and look at the draft stuff, but yeah, there was rookie running backs are not in good situations. Very
But
few.
yeah, it's very interesting. Either we're gonna have to just forcefully just put up with the fact that some of them are by default going to go off because rookie running backs equal opportunity and volume is king, and that's why running backs are always important, and people will never have them high in their ADPs unless they're like a Saquon or Bijan talent.
Right.
And so, but this will be the first of its kind. But this is also, if it does do that, it makes sense because we consider this one of the weakest running back classes that we've seen in a long time.
Oh, it
Next year will be
absolutely
a
is.
absolute bloodbath.
Oh, it's going to be awesome.
It's
I'm so excited.
Oh man, there's about 8-9 guys that
Oh yeah, are legit.
instantly could be
They would have been the number one in the
flex.
class.
Yeah.
If that tells you anything, like there's probably 8 guys that would have been the number one overall running back in this class. That's talent. That's just massive amounts of talent.
Mm-hmm.
But the quarterback position isn't as good. We might right now, it's hard to find a quarterback that you're like comfortable saying they have a first round grade. Quarterbacks always get pushed up boards, but that doesn't mean that they're supposed to be there. That's just the opportunity cost of quarterback.
Yeah, so that's going to be the fun thing because usually running backs are more productive early in their careers, rookie years, etc. Receivers are more productive in their second years,
Right.
unless you're, the higher the high outlier seasons. Well, next year is the perfect storm of this receiver class was so deep. We don't expect all of them to just go out the gate and just kill it. So you're going to have a ton of rookie running backs and a ton of year 2 receivers. And it's just going to be.
Yes, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to you're going to see like probably 15 guys in the top 100 that are rookies. This year we probably would have 3, 4, 5. Mm-hmm. No, we have more than that, I guess. It's going to be a lot though. The running back position for rookies, there's one guy in the top 100, and it's Jordan Brooks in this class. And next year Jonathan it's going to be Jonathan Brooks, yeah.
Which Trey Branson right on the edge of that.
Right.
Other than that, it's really that's it. And then round 14 through 16, you're just crossing your fingers.
So we're up next. Looking at the board, we have 6 running backs, 5 receivers, 2 tight ends.
So we're good on quarterback. And so Roschon Johnson is a guy. Mm-hmm. You said we have 6 running backs, though.
Yeah, but we have a very weak running back group. So
okay. Rashad Bateman still there.
Yeah, I'd probably say Roschon. I'm not sold on Bateman. I think it's okay in this draft to get more running backs because we did go so heavy on receiver.
That's fine.
But we have so many buys at week 12.
Also, we got to think about that. Jalen Tolbert is going higher than normal. Let's go. Roschon.
Okay, we got some. We have to get receivers coming up.
But the very next pick, I think What overall are we right now?
Jalen Tolbert's 207. We're at 196.
Okay, so at this point, this is kind of where we've seen Tolbert start to go.
Yeah,
and that's where he's trending. We have Dak. I know we have Zeke. That's not a great stack, but Jalen Tolbert, if he breaks out as the wide receiver 2 for Dallas, it makes sense, and it gives us our second double stack.
Zeke, to me, is kind of a weird situation because he's almost like a matchup-proof RB2, if that makes sense. Because like he's there to take handoffs inside, the 20, and that's my thing. Like, so I don't actually feel like we're doing a weird stack. I think Zeke is on his own almost. Like he's a separate entity from Dallas almost, from Dallas stats.
That's fine. But I also don't expect him to just have 10 catches
this
year either. So
let's see. We're coming up, but Jonnu Smith. Actually really like our running back room now. We have a lot of guys that could turn into a lot of opportunities. Mm-hmm. And those are the running backs that you want to get a little bit of because they're the ones that win the leagues.
And our RB1 is Josh? Or who's
No, it's James Cook.
James Cook. Okay, yeah. Josh was our previous one.
So Jalen Tolbert.
Yep, let's do it.
Lock it in.
a little bit of a reach, but this one, we're not going to see him on the other way around. Kind of have to here, especially to get the correlation with Dak. And then we got 3 picks left. There's a ton of wide receivers slash running backs in this last 3 pick range that we really like, and we have a ton of shares of. Again, late in the drafts, you want to take stands on certain guys just because you don't want to divvy it up at all. Sometimes you're going to miss. Last year we didn't have much of Puka, but had a lot of Jake Ferguson, had a lot of Kareem Hunt, had a lot of Zeke, had a lot of Tank Dell. Certain guys that went off and still paid off for us. So you're not going to hit on every single one, but that's okay. You're dart throwing, trying to find a diamond in the rough or a guy to just get you a couple of weeks out of the year.
Yeah, and that's why, earlier in draft processes, we were looking at Braylon Allen. He's obviously moved up. Looking at a guy like Chase Claypool, I keep putting his name out there because I want it to possibly make something happen, in my mind, because he scares me. But, like he has an opportunity to be one of the starters, possibly a number 2. I don't think he'll be the number 1. Kincaid is the number 1.
At the very end of the day, right now, before we know any true information, he is a low to no risk guy because it's either you draft him in the 20th round or he's going undrafted.
Right.
So even though, if he does go off and you're just like, man, I wish I had more of him. Well, it's like nobody does. Yeah. So it's not like a Puka where everybody was drafting him in the first 20 rounds, but we're like, no, we can't do it. This is like, like Kareem Hunt, we might get him signed somewhere and he's going to get like 6 touchdowns. And lo and behold, Nick Chubb goes down and he goes right in and steals touchdowns from Jerome Ford. So, it's finding those narratives. And then that same situation again, we also tried that with Leonard Fournette. That didn't work out because he went to Buffalo and just was a, healthy scratch and didn't really give me any touches. That's fine. I'll take 2 out of 3
in the 20th round.
In the 20th round, any day. I'll take 1 out of 3. Because at that point, you're looking for your RB8, wide receiver 8, wide receiver 7, RB7, tight end 3, like low to no risk. And it's okay. You don't have to get every single pick right to just go off. My biggest and best win had Chris Carson that I drafted as my RB2. Well, guess what? He missed the entire season with a neck injury. He didn't even play 1 snap for me, and I still went to the finals with the team I had. And it was a very unbalanced team. Like 7 of my guys, I think, didn't even play the week 17, just because either they didn't work out, they got hurt,
right,
etc. But you just had the solid core. You had great stacks. I had stacks with the Rams with Cooper and Matthew Stafford. I had a stack with Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers, and that's what carried me into the position that I got to be.
Right. Hey, there's Hole. That's early. Okay. So this is the range we're kind of checking out. Braylon Allen, week 12. Let's see. Jalen Hyatt is a guy.
Well, I'm gonna say Braylon Allen is my favorite, want to get most exposed to guy, which is a complete handcuff, and he could have 300 yards and no catches and just not do anything for me all year. But if Breece Hall goes down, all of that is going to him and not to Israel Abanikanda, who for about 3 weeks was being drafted ahead of him for no reason. Like I said, Braylon Allen, his ADP has risen about 90 picks in the last 6-7 days.
Yeah, we were getting him
just because he had a bulky picture that went viral, and he's only 20.
No, I sent it to you, and you were like, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want nobody to know.
Yeah.
I was like, you have to, because I'm like, if we don't say anything and people don't know that we were on him so early, because everybody that's watching obviously knows, because we've talked about him probably every single draft, but most normal people won't know that we had 100% Braylon Allen. Mm-hmm. Damn near. Probably have 70% Braylon Allen. CEH goes. That's actually probably earlier than he's been going.
Earlier than I'd like, but he's another late round guy that is clear-cut RB2. McKinnon's no longer there. But if you don't have a stand on him, there's a couple of just generic Prince, I think, and the rugby guy.
Yes.
if you just want to take stance on certain guys.
East, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What's or not. We'll probably have to go receiver with our next pick because at this point we have 8 running backs and 2 quarterbacks, 2 tight ends.
Okay. What are you thinking? We've gotten a bunch of Jalen Hyatt here.
Yeah, that's.
You brought up Jalen McMillan.
I was gonna say Odell Beckham might be a guy that we can get.
Is McMillan still there?
He is gone.
He's gone. Okay. I was gonna say that could be a good quote unquote wide receiver handcuff for Mike Evans that we took.
So, Chase Claypool is now in the top 240.
Well, he's rising.
Yep. They've been talking about him too much.
I saw John Mechie run a sick route against Jarek Stingley Jr. today.
When Tank Dell caught that ball?
Yeah. And he was the main focus. And it's just like, man, that was the guy, again, last year. You took a stand on Tank Dell. I took a stand on John Mechie. You ended up being right. I really think he's so talented, but, I think he had leukemia his rookie year, missed the entire season, and then comes back and then just kind of, doesn't do a ton. Noah Brown goes off a couple weeks and Tank Dell breaks out. And then this year they bring in Stephon Diggs. So he is at the very best case scenario wide receiver 4.
Yeah.
So it's just like you can't really touch him.
Jalen Hyatt is going to be on our team.
Okay.
And then we
Rondell
have...
Moore is another guy that we've targeted here just because, again, Darnell Mooney versus Rondell Moore, 2 former second-round picks that I think the gap is closer than the 7 rounds would indicate.
So Turpin is a guy that we haven't gotten very much of, but he's going to need to probably end up on our teams more. He's not going in the top 240.
I mean, this is the perfect team to do it because we already have 2 Cowboys.
3. We have 3 Cowboys.
Well,
but that's okay.
Two skill player Cowboys.
Right.
And then, again, kickoffs are way more important this year. That can't be stressed enough. There's going to be 10x the amount of returns, touchdowns, all that stuff. And again, you're looking for 15 points. If he gets 2 catches and then a kick return touchdown in the same game, he's going to have like 15 points and be in your flex spot.
Yep.
And it'll make you happy.
Our quarterbacks are Joe Burrow, Dak, and then our tight ends are Laporta and Otten. Okay.
Oh, yeah. So we got Otten and Mike Evans as well. Forgot about that. So sometimes when we're unintentionally correlating our teams just because we've done this so often.
Yeah, we didn't get Baker with that, but that's
fine.
Okay.
Like you're getting multiple guys on an offense that should be able to move the ball.
Yeah, does well. And
they have one of the easiest schedules, and even if you don't believe that they'll win a ton of games, then that means that they'll be trailing. And so easy opponent plus trailing is probably a good situation. That's why we do like Carolina players this year.
Chase Claypool goes in the 19th. Also, when we get closer to the season, there's going to be guys that are going to just jump way up, into the top 240 that we're not talking about right now at all. Trying to get those guys before other people do is kind of one of the tricks at times that you can do. I'm surprised by the Tillman pick. Dak. Okay, I see. Deshaun Watson. Stack. Oh, Michael. 2 tight ends, baby. Here we go. Las Vegas.
Come? No? So someone took both Jordan McLaughlin and Samaje Perine over Audric Estime.
Okay.
It's not how this works, guys.
It's a choice. It's okay.
Yeah. And we probably aren't going to take him in this exact team. We already have a ton. He is my most exposed player through my personal drafts that I've done by default because he's just been the 19th, 20th round every time. And I have a lot of Javonte, so getting that handcuff, and then also he could very well, if Javonte struggles, take him.
Luke Schoonmaker.
I wanted Mayer.
Noah Gray. Yeah, sorry. Now we have both of the tight ends that you wanted. Okay, so we're up. We can pick anybody. I have Turpin up there.
Let's go Turpin. We're not going to take enough of him. It's a great situation to just take another Cowboy.
Perfect.
Unbiased take.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with like you said, the new rules, they matter.
Yeah, they do.
So just make sure that y'all are looking at that because returners are going to matter this year. But yeah, so here's our team. Get Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Joe Burrow for our stack. Evan Ingram, a guy that we're having a hard time in that second round, but a guy that, has been good for a long time. Lots of 1,000-yard years. Sam Laporta, I think he's my tight end one, but if you go Kelsey, that's understandable. James Cook, RB1, DeAndre Hopkins, solid wide receiver one in his offense. Dak Prescott, rounding out our quarterbacks. And then 3 running backs, guys that we think have a lot of upside. Jahan Dotson, former first rounder. Marshawn Lloyd, guy that is the perfect handcuff. Kate Otten, and then another perfect handcuff in Tyler Algier. Wow. Hi, Jalen McMillan. What's up, bud? Roshan, a guy that, we think could have opportunities in a committee. Jalen Tolbert to stack with Dak. Braylon Allen. We love Braylon Allen. Jalen Hyatt, a guy that we've gotten a lot of in the 19th round. And then Turpin, another Dallas stack.
Yeah. So that wraps it up for another edition of our drafts. We appreciate you guys tuning in. Please like, comment, subscribe. Check out our other drafts that we've done. What is your favorite pick of our draft? What would you have done differently? We want to hear it all. Just please comment, interact with us, keep growing this community like we have continued to do so over the last few weeks.
Yeah, we're growing, guys. It's awesome. We're getting subscribers all the time. We're getting comments on our videos. We're excited to see what happens and, to continue to grow. I got my grandma to subscribe yesterday, why not? So everybody can watch, but we're going to do some best ball, more best ball. We're going to start doing best ball lives starting
June 19th.
June 19th and
Wednesday night.
Every Wednesday, basically until the season starts. We'll be doing those. So don't worry, more best ball content. We'll start doing auction draft content.
Rankings will be coming out soon over the next week. M's going on vacation, so it'll be a little light on videos we'll be putting out there. But once he comes back, we're going to be grinding over the next couple months and put out a lot of fun stuff, a lot of informative stuff.
Yep.
And hopefully we have you guys look into it, interact with it all. We're excited for it. This is the favorite time of the year for me.
Something y'all should be excited about. We're about to put fantasy football position rankings out.
Yep.
Those will all be done before mid-July. So, I guess
mid-June. Or no, not
end of June, I guess. End of June, yeah. So we're getting there. Those will be coming out, so that'll be important. And you'll have lots of content to watch. Don't y'all worry about that. Yep. So we appreciate y'all hanging out with us, and we will see y'all next time.